All right, Lakeland School Community, this is your Assistant Superintendent, Mr. Novak. Today is Thursday, April 30th. It is an A day. I apologize, I misspoke yesterday. Feeling a little bit under the weather yesterday. I'm certainly under the weather a little bit today as well, but I wanted to kind of get out here and get this address out because I think it's important for us to have a little bit of continuity. And there are also some important things that are going on within our four virtual walls, and outside our four virtual walls as well. So number one, I want to give you our schedule for the next 2 weeks. First, tomorrow, Friday, May 1st, it's going to be May. It's a Lancer Day. We'll talk a little bit more about Lancer Days in a second. Monday, May 4th is a B Day. Tuesday, May 5th is an A Day. Wednesday, May 6th is a B Day. Thursday, May 7th is an A Day. And Friday, May 8th, that's another Lancer Day. It's more of a rhetorical question, but last week I asked you guys, and I kind of challenged you, how are you going to spend your Lancer Day? One of the things that we got coming back from the survey, we got a phenomenal amount of information, and it was very good insight, and it helped me understand how you guys are feeling, not just academically, but socially and emotionally as well. So I thank you guys for those individuals who took the time to fill out the survey. It really was meaningful, and we've crunched that data and we've passed it along to our school personnel in an attempt, for all of us to kind of see the big picture in what is going on. And every situation is a little bit different, but ultimately it was very, very, very insightful, and it was very valuable, at least on my end. But we got a lot of positive praise about the institutional Lancer Days, and this is before they were even implemented. And the whole purpose of Lancer Days is not a day off. And I told you guys that last week, that I was going to challenge you guys to use your Lancer Days as they're intended. If you're an individual who's, kind of getting lost in the digital divide, or you need clarification on this, or you're not really getting that concept in class, this is what these days are for. In addition to kind of just being a catch-up day for you guys, to get additional work done, it's also an opportunity for you to reach out to your teachers, your counselors, child study team members about any questions you may have about anything. So tomorrow, don't use your Lancer Day as a day off, especially if you're having some difficulties right now and some challenges. Use your Lancer Day as they're intended to, and use it to connect with people and get the clarification you so need. Number 3, seniors, please make sure you check your Lakeland email addresses. I know Miss Harmon, sent out, first name's Jenny, Miss Harmon sent out a survey to seniors about end of the year prom and some alternate dates and plans if this situation kind of continues the way that it's continuing right now, with banquet halls being closed, social distancing, and all those sorts of things. We want to be able to give you some sort of culminating activity. And I know that Mr. Beatty, Dr. Finkelstein, and Miss Mazza met with a group of students the other day, who are seniors, to kind of pick their brains about things that they would enjoy in regard to prom and graduation, and they are beginning to formulate ideas and plans now. But like everything else, we're soliciting your feedback. So if you have any questions or any concerns whatsoever, please make sure you communicate those to those individuals, Mr. Beatty, Miss Harmon, Dr. Finkelstein, and Miss Mazza. I'm very out of breath, and it's not because I'm sick. I'm just really, really desperately out of shape. Just went up a little hill. Might have been a 4-foot hill. I'm winded. Next, AP students. Ms. Ross sent out some pretty important information to you guys yesterday. Please make sure you check that information. Also, if you have any questions about anything relating to the AP exam at all, ask your teachers, ask Ms. Ross. There's a link that I'm including in my address today that I want to get out to you guys. And then finally, last but not least, I want to include for you, not really a hashtag Your Community School Challenge, because I don't really know, and I'm descending a hill, which is going to leave me even in more distress. All right, plus I don't want to fall, at least not on camera. That would be very embarrassing. So hold on, I'm going to scale this thing sideways. All right, walking down. This is the content I know you guys clicked on this to see. It's me falling, so everybody can laugh at me. So Viktor Frankl wrote a book back in the 1940s or 1950s called Man's Search for Meaning, and it was one of the foundational books that I read as I was in college, and gave me perspective. And to be honest with you, as a history person, I'm not, you would think that I love to read nonfiction. I don't. I love to read fiction. I go back to fiction books constantly. I rarely, which is interesting. So I reread fiction often, the same books over and over and over again. I don't really reread nonfiction books, but Viktor Frankl's A Man's Search for Meaning is one of the books that I've read multiple times. And he basically talks about the different ways to realizing meaning in life, not the meaning of life, but meaning in life. And I'm going to leave you with one of those today, because I think it's important, especially on the heels of a really rainy day where it's muddy, it's very slippery, and I'm trying desperately not to fall, which is not very graceful of me. So one of the ways, and we'll talk about the other two ways on Friday and then Monday again, that Frankl talked about realizing meaning in life was by making a difference in the world through our actions, our work, or our creations. Because ultimately, I think as human beings, we want to leave a little bit of a legacy. And we talk about that, on a grand scale, and talk about that on a small scale. But during this pandemic, I know that I find myself getting lost in my thoughts and lost in my feelings a lot. And I can tell you this, that I've thought about that a lot recently, is really, what do I want my legacy to be? I'm not really concerned about my legacy to be, but how do I want my immediate actions to impact the world around me? And I know that I've had to change my mindset a little bit, and I've had to change my outlook a little bit to become a person that is more comfortable with being, as Coach Shiano says, uncomfortable. So what I would do is this. Ask yourself this question today. How do you want to shape the world around you? I'll see you guys tomorrow.